He hates me. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the books that I read in October and November, because I just decided not to do an October wrap up because I didn't read that many books, so we just combined the two together. So this is our second to last wrap up of the year, and then I think I'll probably just do a December wrap up. We'll see if I want to do like a whole wrap up. We might do an end of the year book tag, but not like a whole year wrap up, you know? Anyway, so let's just get into the books. I only have 2 of these I read 7 books in both months combined. Out of all of these, I only have 2 of them physically. So I don't know if that's good or bad, TBH. Because that means I didn't read any books hardly at all on my physical TBR, but whatever. Okay, so we started off the month of October with Killer Instincts by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the second book in the Natural series, so I can't say a lot about it, but basically there's this group of kids. This series is basically, like, people say it's like Criminal Minds, but they're teenagers. But I haven't ever watched Criminal Minds or seen it, so I don't know. But basically you follow these teenagers. You're following, your main character is Cassie. Kind of weird because that's my name. She is a natural profiler, which means like she looks at a person and can tell from their life and whatever that, like, she knows what they're doing basically. Anyway, so she basically one day in the first book, basically one day this guy comes to her work and is like, drops off this card or whatever, and it's like for the FBI. And so what happens is there's this group called the Naturals Program, and they're all teenagers, and they're basically getting trained to be in the FBI. They all have like natural abilities. So there's one of the boys can read emotions very well. There's another profiler that's a guy, and then there's a literal human lie detector, and then there's basically like this, I guess she's just very smart, like she's just a genius. I don't know if she technically has like a name or like a category. She's just really smart, tells things in the odd, like tells things by looking at the odds or something. I don't know. She's just really smart. So basically they work on cold cases, but then sometimes, most of the time, they get like an open case each. At least I've only read the first 2 books. I think there's 4 or maybe there's 5. I'm guessing in each one they end up solving an open case or whatever. Anyway, so you kind of go from there. Well, you have to read the first book first, but I gave that book 4 stars. The next book I read was Mate by Ellie Hazelwood. This is technically a second book, or like a series. It's the second book to Bride. I guess it would be an interconnected standalone series. So like, you wouldn't have to read Bride, but if you wanted to, I would read Bride first, obviously. But this one is a werewolf romance. So you're following Serena and, what is his name? I don't even forget. Oh, Cohen. And Cohen is the like alpha to the Northwest pack of the territory. In this like world, there's vampires, weres, and humans, and they all don't really get along. But in the first book, you kind of see what happens, like how they're starting to get along, but they're not really getting along. It doesn't make sense, but we're just gonna go with that. Basically, Serena is a hybrid, which no one thought there was hybrids in their world until basically Serena. She is half human, half were, which is more like 3/4 human, half wolf, if you think that, because isn't a werewolf half human, half wolf? Anyway, basically they are mates, but they don't want to be mate. Like, they don't, what's the word? they rejected the pairing. Not like they hate each other, just they're just not doing anything about being mates. But basically, it turns out that Serena thinks she's gonna die, but she doesn't tell anybody. And her best friend is the main character in Bride, who is a vampire. So, but she's going off. Serena's all by herself in the woods, in a cabin, living by herself. But everybody wants to kill Serena because, or like take her, basically because she's half human, half were. But I kind of forget why that's a big deal. I mean, it's because there's no other ones. Anyway, so Cohen is like, okay, girl, you're literally about to die, so I'm taking you with me because technically you're under my protection because you are my mate. And so I'm gonna take you and like make sure you don't die. But Serena thinks she's dying. Maybe she is, maybe she's not. And he's supposed to hate her, but like, yeah. Anyway, you kind of just go from there. There's also just some like, you do get some like politics in this one, so yeah. Anyway, that was a terrible description, but I gave this book 4.5, so do with that information what you will. Like, is it a little crazy? Yeah, because it's werewolves, but like, it's werewolves, so you know what? Just if you don't like werewolves, then don't read it. If you want to try, read it, but read Bride first. Some people get a little icked out about things that happen, but there's werewolves, so those things are gonna happen, you know? Anyway, 4.5. Then I read Red, White, and Royal Blue, which, okay, this is a movie. It's a book first, and then it's a movie. I already watched the movie because I just decided to watch the movie first. I recommend reading books first and then watching the movie, but for this one I didn't. Maybe I should have, because low-key when I read it, I was getting bored, but I was also kind of in a little reading slump / I was just busy. I don't really know what's happened these last few months with my reading. Anyway, you're following Alex and Henry. So Henry is the Prince of Wales. Alex is the son to the president. And you kind of go from there. They're like enemies and then friends and then they're more than that. And yeah, you just go from there. And there's also some like, not politic things, but you kind of get like Alex's mom is running for like her second term of presidency. Is that what you call it? Whatever. She's like, it's like election year and she's running again. So you're getting the election things. And it's a really good book. And like, definitely read the book first and watch the movie because I knew it was going to happen. So I feel like it didn't impact me as much. So I would watch the book. I mean, I would read the book and then watch the movie, but they're both great. I gave it 4 stars. I feel like if I read it before watching it, it would have 5-star potential, but that just didn't happen. So it was also, I always feel bad for a book. I feel bad for a book when I read it over a long period of time, because then I feel like I want to read it less because it feels like the book has dragged on, but it's really just because I haven't been reading it very fast, like just in general. So yeah, those are all the books I read in October. So it's just those 3. Now we're going into November books. I started the Sinners Anonymous series. Guys, I get it. I get it, okay? I get it. I get it. So I started the series. Have I continued it so far? No, but I've had a lot of books to read, okay? Don't come for me, okay? So many books, so little time. Sometimes I just gotta, I'm a mood reader, okay? I switch it up. Okay? I will come back. In fact, I might be coming back sooner than I think to the series. Anyway. This follows. Now, actually, before I even say this is like dark mafia romance, but I do think it's a good segue. Me saying this is like a beginner dark romance book for me, okay? So like I haven't read much dark romance, so I'm not like going crazy into the dark romance. If you go into reading this, obviously it's gonna be dark. Search up your trigger warnings if you feel you need to. Basically, all this is to say this is a dark mafia romance. You're following, hold on, what are their names anyway? Rory and Angelo, okay? Cosa Nostra. It's the Italian mafia. I don't even know what state it is now that I'm thinking about it, but basically they rule over, or she comes from Devil's Dip, which is where, that's what it's called, right? Which is where they like rule over, but they rule over more. It's like a little town. I'm butchering this. Basically, Rory Carter is in this deal, this arranged marriage, arranged engagement, they're not married yet, to Angelo Visconti's uncle. Now, hold on a second. This is disgusting, okay? He's 70, not Angelo, the uncle, is 70. Rory is like 21, okay? This is not the end game couple, just so you know, okay? Just so you know, I don't do those kind of age gaps. Maybe I like a little age gap romance, but not that big, okay? So, this is arranged. We don't like the uncle. He's terrible. He's icky. But he made this deal with Rory. Rory made this deal with him. Is he sticking to that deal? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, she's in this situation. Basically, he's like, well, obviously abusive because he's in the mafia. Anyway, Angelo's Visconti has been in London, I think, somewhere like that, for a while since his father died, because he wanted to be out of there, the mafia. But then he comes back for some reason, which you'll find out, but I kind of forget what the reason is. Anyway, and he sees Rory Carter, and he really likes her. Really likes the look of her. Really likes whatever. Anyway, basically you just kind of go from there. There's also like a plot too, which is good, which in the next books, because basically there's gonna be, well, there's gonna be another one out. So right now there's 4 books out, but there's gonna be another one. Apparently the last one ends on a cliffhanger, so that's sad, but apparently it's coming out soon. I don't know, the last one just came out, but the plot will go through all the books, I think. At least I know it will go through the next couple ones. Yeah, the plot is gonna go through all the books because you follow the 3 brothers, because Angelo has 2 other brothers. Anyway, basically that's what's happening. Is she's arranged to be married to his uncle, an icky guy, and Angelo comes back and she's like, oh hey, and he's like, oh I forgot like the biggest part of this story. Basically there's this hotline that's called Sinners Anonymous, and Rory calls that hotline like every week and confesses the bad things that she does. It's not actually like that bad. It's like, I wanted to like hit, I don't actually know what the things are. So then you can maybe like find some things out about things. Anyway, this was so good. I'm really excited to see Angelo and Rory, and like the other books. I hope we see them anyway. I don't know if we do, but I feel like, not that the ending was rushed, but we just don't get them like fully together for a while because she's engaged to his uncle for like the whole time, so they never do anything until they're like together. So I think like, because at the end and like the little, does it have an epilogue or how to forget? Yeah, it did. Like they were really cute, like as a little like domesticated couple living together. Sorry, maybe I just spoiled the ending, but it's a romance book. Obviously they're gonna be together, so I didn't spoil the ending. Anyway, so I'm kind of excited for that. I gave this 4.5, 4 stars. I really liked, I said this in a vlog, I think, because I technically had a reading vlog. I think it was one of my week / what I read in a week in my life / what I read in a week, something like that, vlogs a couple weeks ago, that I really like that when you're in his point of view, because you are in its dual point of view, obviously it like starts as like physical attraction, but like then as it goes on and like you get to know each other when you're in his point of view, or like when you're in her point of view and you're seeing what he's doing, you can tell it's actually love and not just like not just lust, I guess is what the thing is. Like I feel like a lot of people's problems with, well, just romance in general, but also dark romance, is that it's always just physical for the guy, or the woman, I guess, but especially for the guy. But this one, I feel like I definitely can tell it was like true love. Like they were still together. Like I didn't need, as people say, I didn't need an epilogue to know that they're still together in 10 years or whatever. So anyway, that was a really good book. I'm really excited for the next one. Could I just literally pick it up now and read it? Yeah, but I just haven't yet. Anyway, the next book I read was The Mistake by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book in the Off-Campus series. I read The Deal, which is actually right up there. You can see half of it. I got the little collector's edition. I don't know if it's like focusing at all because I can't really see. Anyway, this is the second book in the Off-Campus series. It's actually, is it just hockey or is it sports? I don't know because I haven't read the rest of the books. I think it's hockey, maybe just a sports romance series by Elle Kennedy. Very popular. It's interconnected standalone, but like personally, well, I'm always going to say go in order because then you get like all the little crumbs. But this one follows Logan and Grace, and Logan is Garrett's bestie and roommate, which Garrett and Hannah are in the first book. And Logan has this little crushy crush on Hannah, but Hannah is his bestie's girlfriend now. Sorry, spoiled the first book. They get together. It's a romance book. Girl. Anyway, so he has this little crush, and he's trying to get over her, and so he's like partying, getting with lots of girls, and then he goes to this party, and he's like, what he thinks is party, but you know, this is like the 2000s, 2010s. I don't actually know when this is technically supposed to be set in, but like, which isn't really that crazy, but he left his phone home. And so he goes to this party, but it's not a party. It's literally he shows up to Grace's house, who is a freshman in college, and he's like, oh, I thought a party was here. And she's like, no, girl. I'm literally just sitting here watching a movie. He's like, oh, can I come in and call quick my friend? And then he's like, I don't have my phone actually. Or he's like, I should go call my friend. Then he's like, actually, I don't have my phone. And then he's like, can I use your phone? And she's like, yeah. And then he's like, actually, I'm dumb. I don't know this guy that well because I just wanted to go to a party. And heard he's having a party and thought this was his dorm room. It's not. Shocker. So I don't even know his phone number. So I'll just call a taxi. And she's like, slay. And then he like looks over and he's like, are you watching, what are the movies? Anyway, basically they stay. Do they do anything? Doesn't matter. Basically they hang out and then they just kind of keep meeting, and he like is obsessed with her all of a sudden, and then there's kind of a situation that happens, hence the mistake, and then basically the rest of the book he's groveling to her, so slay. Anyway, I really like this book. I gave it 5 stars. So the next one is If It Makes You Happy. Now, I had been seeing this everywhere, so I had to read it. This one follows Cliff and Michelle. They're both divorcees. Michelle's mom just dies, which I guess that's a trigger warning, but it's off page. You like start at our funeral. And so Michelle goes to this small town to run her in because her sister's gonna take it over, but she's in college still, and her dad is too unwell to run it right now. So she goes and runs the inn for her family, and Cliff is her next door neighbor. Cliff has 2 daughters, a 16-year-old and a 6-year-old. They're so cute. I can't even, just thinking about this is gonna make me want to cry because it's so good. Anyway, this is also reverse grumpy sunshine, so reverse grumpy sunshine. So she's grumpy, he's sunshine. It's so cute. Okay, but basically you kind of just go from there, okay? They both have some like trauma to work through. Both of their exes are I'm not gonna say terrible people, but I don't like them one bit. There's the dog in here, and like it's not like he talks, but there's like some like lines in italics, I think, and it's like what, like she talks to him all the time, and like he seems to like communicate with people. Well, like not actually, but like you kind of just have to read it to understand. Basically, she just talks to a dog all the time, and like the words in italics are his. It sounds kind of crazy, but it's really good. And then one of the epilogues is in the dog's point of view, Rocket, and it's so cute. Oh my word. Anyway, that wasn't very like good of a thing. Oh, also he's a baker. I give this 5 stars. Now I feel like you should go into it blind because I go into all my books blind, so I just think it's the superior way. So like, just know this is so good and it's 5 stars. It's very fall coded. You literally start in September and end on like New Year's. So now it's like December, so it's kind of out of the fall time, but I would still get it and read it, definitely. So the last book that I read is Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. Oh, this is also by Julie Olivia. I didn't say that, but it's If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. And it's also Luke and Lorelai coded, but if their personalities were kind of swapped. Just so you know. Back to this. Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. This follows Jack and Elsie. They're both physicists. She's the theoretical physicist and he's an experimentalist. And she works for this app, on this app called Faux, and it's literally a fake dating app. So she's fake dating his brother, but it's like she's getting paid for it, so it's her job. So his brother is just like, hey, I saw this, my family's kind of crazy. I need him to get off my back about me dating, so can you be my fake date? And she's like, yeah, you're gonna pay me, then yeah, I can do that. Anyway, so in this business, in this app business, whatever, they don't make up their names, but they make up their like jobs and stuff. Anyway, so you don't really spend that much time with the brother, but she then is getting this different job because she's a professor, but like she's not making any money. That's why she has to do the Faux dating app, because she's broke, capital B broke. And so, oh, she also has diabetes, so there's that diabetes rep. Anyway, so she's going to get this other job, or she wants to. She was applying for this job, and who shows up at the it's not the interview, but there's this like little meeting with a bunch of people that are trying, like the board basically, to get her on the job. It's the infamous what's his name? Dr. Joseph Smith Turner. Is he a doctor? Yeah, which is actually Jack Smith Turner, and that is none other than her current fake boyfriend's brother. Yeah. So he's really confused because he thought she was a librarian. Turns out she's a theoretical physicist, and also he is infamous, because he wrote a article when he was like 17 about how basically theoretical physicist, is there a point to him or something like that? I don't know. I didn't totally understand it because I'm not really a STEM girly, but I still like Ali Hazelwood's STEM romance, so there's that. Anyway, basically, then she's like, ugh, I hate him, he hates me. Now, we talked about an Ali Hazelwood book before this, and she thought he hated her too. One thing about Ali Hazelwood, she maybe copy and pastes kind of the man and situation in every book, but like not really. It just kind of follows the same recipe with different ingredients. I mean, it has the same ingredients, different recipe. Either one of those, it's gonna eat every single time, okay? Because this ate up. Basically, they kind of fight about, basically he's like one of the people who has to like vote to get her in the job, and he's like very adamant. He's like, you're not gonna get the job because of reasons we know in the latter half of the book. Anyway, and she's like, I'm gonna get the job, and when I get the job, I'm gonna ruin your life because you hate me so much. And he's like, girl, you're stupid. I don't hate you. I'm literally in love with you, but you just don't see it. Anyway, so that's that. Oh, she's also has this like, basically she's a chronic people pleaser, and she has this thing where she like will meet this person and like can read them and then changes herself to be the Elsie they want, is basically what she says. I think she has a word for it, but I forget. She just changes into the version of people that she thinks they want. But she can do it with everybody. She can read everybody except for Jack. So she has to be her real and true self around Jack. Anyway, this book, so good. So good. 5 stars. That is all the books that I read in November. If you liked this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Goodreads. All of my links will be down in the description. And I will see you right back here next week with another video. Bye!